This was a uniquely German form of torture. A deserter's foot was chained by his own comrades, with the other end nailed into solid rock. His fellow soldiers left him with only a handful of bullets and some food, ordering him to stay behind and capture Soviet soldiers. The moment his comrades departed, the soldier grabbed his sniper rifle and began loading it, but by the time he took aim, his companions had already vanished into the jungle. Now his primary mission was to break free from these chains in this godforsaken place. He raised his sniper rifle and fired at the chain. With a thunderous crash, the intense pain made him scream out, but the bullet failed to break the hardened steel links. He'd have to find another way. Rummaging through his backpack, he found a pair of glasses. An idea struck him. Using his knife, he carefully removed the lenses and pressed the two pieces together. He broke off a pine branch, scraped out some tree resin, chewed it up in his mouth, then smeared it between the lens gaps. He inserted a small stick and slowly poured water into the makeshift lens assembly, creating a magnifying glass. Next, he placed some moss on the iron nail and used the magnifying glass to focus sunlight onto the dried moss, igniting it. Once it had burned sufficiently, he quickly poured ice water onto the rock. The sudden temperature change caused the stone to crack instantly. He tried pulling out the nail, but it still wouldn't budge. However, he didn't give up and continued repeating this process. The nail gradually became more exposed, and soon a large hole formed in the rock. This gave the man hope for survival. He crouched by the stone to rest and eat, when suddenly he heard the sound of an engine in the distance. Grabbing his sniper rifle, he saw it was a military truck. Fortunately, they were just passing through and didn't spot him. He needed to pick up the pace, but the problem was that all the nearby branches had been burned up. If he didn't escape soon, even if the Soviets didn't find him, he'd freeze to death in this bitter winter. Worse yet, his food was gone, and only one last cup of water remained in his metal bucket. This was his final chance. He quickly poured the water on the stone, grabbed his tools, and began chiseling at the rock, but the nail still didn't budge an inch. He removed all his bullets, collected the gunpowder into a metal container, then poured it into the hole, covered it with stones, placed burning moss on top, and quickly took cover behind a boulder. With a bang, the gunpowder ignited, sending up white smoke. He rushed to check, but the nail remained motionless. In frustration, he kicked the nail twice, but it didn't move. Left with no choice, he picked up a large rock and smashed it against the nail with all his might, working from dawn to dusk without rest. Finally, he tried one more time, using every last ounce of his strength. With a thunderous crash, the nail finally loosened. The man had finally gained his freedom.